Ladies and gentlemen, and all 40 subscribers, welcome to an incredible episode brought to you by TAFTOBY Network. And today, here to share a story, we are doing a mini on an incredible guest. Let me tell you a little bit about this guest. He's one of those guys where they make things happen in the world, but they move in silence. He's one of those guys where when you encounter, upon your departure, you are filled with wisdom, I feel the knowledge, I feel the understanding, global reach. He knows why he's laughing. That's a bar. Global reach into your inner understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, come to the show. One and only, not the Ranchon, but the original Donald.
Yeah, thank you for having me. TAFTOBY. My name is Donald KC. Yes. In Finland, I tell everything. My name is Donald, not Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, and that makes them laugh all the time.
Mm-hmm. You have to distinguish. It's important.
My name is Donald. I'm not Trump. So yes, and they will say, good, that's very good. I'm not Trump. Yeah, so thank you for today.
Thank you for accepting to come on the show. Our arena today was quite impromptu.
So yeah.
Well, I say it's halfway premeditated, but halfway impromptu. Yeah, thankfully we made it happen.
Yeah. After actually Toby thought he was coming to be interviewed on my own show.
Yeah.
And that was what I was thinking. I was thinking he thought he was coming today to be interviewed on my show, and I thought he was coming to interview me. Like virtually. Now we are here.
Yeah, I was thinking, okay, how can I blow? I'm like, okay, maybe I should go on the global reach podcast. So maybe I'll go global on that because he has the really, really incredible and important guests on the show. So I thought maybe I was important enough to on the show. So I was like, okay, let me do it. And then I was like, no, I thought 2 years ago I was going to help you blow. So we just decided to just pull out and have this episode.
And he's going to be on my show soon. Very soon.
Hopefully someday. If you guys leave enough like and share, maybe one day next week back on the show.
Yeah, you said 40 sessions, but yeah, about 60 content.
Oh, I did something. I'm trying to experiment with things. So I did something and then it happened. But
okay.
I don't know if I'm going to do that again. Because I got so many subscribers that I think it's a scam.
Okay.
So I'm cautious. I want people that are subscribing to actually be interested in it. I mean, everybody. Okay, so TAFTOBY, especially on the Mini-Bio, we try to learn from people's stories. Everything that makes you is summarized in between 1 to 2 hours, and we get to have a power-packed and version of the story and get to absorb all the lessons from the successes, your challenges, the triumphs, and your setbacks, all in one. And this show is about perspective. It's about learning. It's about growing. And most importantly, understanding to the parts of enlightenment. Yeah. So, if you don't mind, we'd like to go back to the beginning. Okay. The beginning of young Donald. Yeah. You grew up in Nigeria, yes. What was your understanding of an environment at that young age? Say, earliest childhood memory.
I was born in a ghetto in Lagos State. I Agegunle to be.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I Agegunle people. We did the colors. Yeah, so I was born in a ghetto, Agegunle. Yeah. And anybody who knows about Agegunle, Lagos has 2 Agegunles. There's Agegunle around Ikorodu. There's Agegunle in Onut at around Apapa. That is the main Agegunle.
I didn't know there were 2.
So that's the main ghetto. So growing up there was tough. Yeah. And it's tough in the sense that it's ghetto life. You see different kind of payments, different kind of trials, and you grow up tough. You grow up tough. Yeah, and I'm very calm and I'm quiet. So when I tell people I grew up in Agegunle, they're funny surprised. Those who know Agegunle, yeah, they don't believe me until maybe they see me react to some way. And I tell them, that's not the truth. side of Lake Comarca.
Like what the first thing, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't just come out. I want him. It gets to a point where I remind you, guys, oh, forget this thing that was speaking. Get to that point. When I was born and taking the journey concept. So I've been executed and this tired, doesn't I can't get hard or tough. There's a time after leaving the ghetto. I left the ghetto, got married, living my life somewhere else. I one day I went to visit families and friends. So I parked my car at a particular place where I felt was good enough. And some guys were like, Shama, no park for there, you go drop something for boys. So meaning
You got the accent.
oh, you have to drop something, you have to settle boys. You cannot just park there. So I kept on it. And they said again, boss, they follow you talk cool. No park for there like that too. Or else your tire go less. I know that they will deflate my tire. So I smiled. Now the thing is this. For someone, for you to be talking to somebody, it's a stranger at a place and they are calm. It means that there's something about it. So those guys noticed I was just standing there. It's like I left my car, went once towards them. And I spoke and Agegunle get to slang. And I told them, I said for this order, you want less than 1,000. So that word for this order is a ghetto slang. Means for this area, you want less than 5. And I mentioned some names. Said Papa, Defi, and some of them. And these boys are like babies. In terms of maybe like some of them are real children to those people. And some of them are like, because some of those guys they didn't know I had taught their oldest siblings. Because there was this time I taught as a teacher. I still teach though. So it was when I came back, they were still there. So they had done some 5 minutes on level. I came back with 2 friends.
Was that intentional?
That was they were going to actually work because I was able to see family and friends.
Yeah.
And there was no way they would not walk me to the car.
Yeah.
And I had already told them. And they told me, they said, yeah, when they're touching, then we'll do something. So we got back, we were still there.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Just like that.
Yeah, they washed the car, cleaned even the tires, everything. It is so cool. Because they had done their 5 minutes. And so on, I told them that this person is next time done. That's now that was my plan. Like to say this freeze. That's bringing out this me. So I got that thing and I found that minister done car with that. Because some of them knew they had seen it before. So they had to wash me before I came. Just to appease me for talking anyhow. So when they saw my friends with me, you know, say, bros, no vex. Sap, no vex, no vex. So in pidgin, they said, we don't know saying that you teach and see so and so. But that's so and so. We like this that are older than they are like 20 years before. Because I started teaching in the ghetto in 2006. So those ones were way older bosses that were I made the times.
It's a lot of the junk on that branch.
Yeah, so that was I grew up in the ghetto. Yeah, schooled. I did school in the ghetto.
Unfortunately, some people would say that's like a fortunate thing.
I didn't get the full experience of schooling in the ghetto and living the school that's away from the ghetto. Kick it out, kiri. It's some kind of ghetto.
It's some kind of ghetto, but maybe
it's not the Agegunle.
Yeah,
it's just and then to mention basketball. We grew up in the same Agegunle, kick it out, Yeah, let me even mention it. Pascal Mount he was living at Cardoso Street, adjacent to he attended the same church back then, St. Joseph Choosing Church. So then I schooled at Town Secondary School. Maybe that's public school. So that was the picture too. So that was my the unfortunate part of me was having the spinning of school in Liberty.
But I mean, the ghetto gives you a form of understanding and what it does school in fact.
Yeah.
And then you now went to like a middle school that gives you proper discipline, proper structure. That's like the perfect combination for I mean, some people might see the ghetto part as a negative, but I see it as a plus. But it gives you like a perfect structure and discipline.
Sometimes I tell people that I'm home child, but she luckily for us she goes to church early every Sunday. Yeah, early means from childhood. Oh, okay, yeah, early enough. Yeah, and with the teaching and the teaching in churches, even from Catholic church, yeah. We must go for catechism and on my money even left to the Pentecostal church, we must be involved in different things. Yeah. You know, and my mom was quite tough. On the beating, even with broom.
Is that common among all Nigerian mothers?
My mom will buy fresh broom to beat you. Then start plucking off the brooms with it. And that hurts.
So people say that abuse.
That's abuse, yes. The abuse.
We'll get to that. Because that's like a perspective that
is a perspective, but
yeah. But back then it was like no.
But it really shaped many of us. I was following it. You know what I was telling my son that I'm what's being hurt. I gave him an assignment to go watch on YouTube. Say go to YouTube and search Agegunle lyrics. Watch some videos about it. When we come back to you, we'll not talk it to you listen. Because I can bless you. Since the guy taking back the guy again, started behaving himself. Yeah, and because actually he went to watch. So I saw the 15 minutes of that. Two things. There was a day I told him. My wife, who was my girlfriend then, but then she visited me now in Olodia Papa, not even Agegunle itself. Because there are two places like this is Agegunle, this is Olodia Papa. Yeah, this one big community that's separated by a little canal. That's all. It's not like it's one different place. It's just like you say in the city. They're only Vasan. Yeah. So that's how we do Agegunle. You're the working every day. We saw the cops on the film. Who was a thief that was taken about and the express to jungle justice. The data that she panicked.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I'll bring it myself. Bring it because you reminded me of something, but that's like a future term. Okay, so then you grew up in this environment.
Yeah.
So you try to understand the environment as best as you could. You grew up with the mom,
the complete family, yeah. And kids.
Possibly.
Yeah. Two boys and 3 girls.
2 boys, 3 girls. You are rich.
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
So they call me opera. I am the opera in the language.
You are the first. I think you are the first best, which is the oldest.
Oh,
sibling.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
What this is what I'm about to ask. What was your dynamic, your impact then, or your responsibility at such a young age? Because they are giving that responsibility from a young age. And of course, it must have been inconvenient between it. How did you adjust to that too?
It was more like you have to be capable so that your younger ones learn from you. Yeah. So I got a lot of discipline from my parents. So that my younger ones will see how disciplined I was. And emulate my way of living or my lifestyle. So a lot of responsibilities when it comes to house chores too. when it comes to studies, also, I must be the one to make sure that even with my studies, I was doing well. So there was a lot of ask, not intentional asks, but it was a huge ask on me to be best people, be a good example to my parents. So it was a lot of work around that. And sometimes I feel like this is stressful studies up until now. So yeah, it's been so far a job to be a first month. That's my person.
I ask that question because a lot of us think we have to grow up fast. I'll be like, oh, okay, I like my childhood, but this happened, this happened, this happened. And then another people, but the first ones, a lot has been asked for them. Some of the things that we don't think is growing up because
Yeah.
I know that's it.
I remember that at some point they got tired of family change. I was tired of it. This thing about me, I like to cook. I don't like non-payers. And other churches were spending on some portions to change a little bit. Some churches became more too. So let me see. Imagine we are attending, like the Redeemed Church. They have the routine. It's a classic of that. Can't remember those, the way they are classified it. So we have some Redeemed churches that are more like they tend towards being like CAC kind of areas and because and we have the Redeemed churches like COD, City of David. That one is VI kind of. Is it VI?
Because it's like headquarter-ish vibes.
The headquarters is actually intimidating. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I've passed the walls. I've not entered, but I have attended different kind of Redeemed churches, and some of them they do. If you go to the Nathaniel Baptist Church, oh my God, I'll call it the classic time. And your services are long. But there's some other Redeemed churches that you attend in that same island in Lagos. Kind of short picture, short prayer, and we close the door. Like everything, like it seems that they tend to be more urban. They don't pray too long. They don't preach too long. And the embassy is all you pray. The brother you pray.
And it's interesting you said that because most of the clips and the videos I see online is music. When the church is doing the music,
of course.
I didn't think it's this prayer chapter.
So me leaving my church at that time was difficult because I was big first man. So when you do that, the rest will follow. And my parents are really family time. They are family shouting the same church. The way you guys are doing, you can do it from us from good to man. So there were more. We had a more family eccentric system. So I couldn't leave. Some of my friends who left. From the time we started going to the universities, we never studies, attending at the church and going to other churches that are more organic area family business. I'll be having another one. You do my sister still doing it. And my heartbreak. It was a huge sacrifice. I'm moving out totally out of school and working. I can do some and earn some money now. And I have to return.
Okay. Before we get there, you mentioned you went to the Navy secondary school. What was your first year like? What did you enter the Navy school from GSS or from SS?
GSS1.
Okay, from GSS. What was it like starting that kind of timeliness and structuredness?
It was quite interesting because my primary school was in two places. Yeah. Now I remember my first 3 years of primary school was in Agegunle. Unity primary school. Now it starts in alma mater. Then I moved to Kidukiri town, which was not too much of a ghetto. compared to Agegunle. Then I did as a mainly primary school years there. Then I went to Lake Town, which was a quite different environment. People from different places, the rich, the middle class, living the poor, attended my school, maybe times secondary school. So it was a different experience. Living my regular ghetto PJ lifestyle.
Yeah.
Where we break the PJ very well, only to place where reading was not allowed in the classroom. Don't speak pidgin. And even your classmates don't even speak pidgin. Some of them speak spray language. Spray English now. So yeah, you coming today? What should I just say? So luckily for me, my English was good enough. Last year, they often English speaking, English and English. And so I learned English fast. It was good enough. But I wasn't speaking English. That's some of these spirit with things, yeah, things, some of them. And it's like some of them are that attended some correct private schools, rich private schools, then come to the town. Secondary school. There is Nigerian Navy secondary school. Yeah. There's Navy scholars. So that blend actually it's bettered my charisma and posture. Yeah, it made it better. Because I was no longer in the capture centric kind of school. Yeah. It's a mixed voice, one bit different. It helped my communication skills. Like I told you earlier, always I said I'm standing. Then I was still standing very well. But I was most of the time tired. That makes sense. Let's keep it to myself to that. That's from JSS 1 to SS3. I had some friends who were still in the same class throughout. And they never knew I was there.
Because they never knew where the
yeah, I would talk to them. So what about did you bring your big short suit?
Yeah.
I didn't really spend time talking the lines.
So let me ask you this. Were you quiet because you stomach or really that's naturally quiet?
I think I was quiet because I'm standard. Because you don't want to embarrass anything that will embarrass
and
you.
of course kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a way you stammer and they will, mimic you.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I learned which has helped me till to date. I don't care. You make me one of my business. I laugh about it. So I've had several nicknames because of that. Because what they do, what's peer pressure, or let me say, than you is the one they look for something that they offend. Once you are offended, I did it. They got to. So what I did is when they call me, my name is Donald. So imagine Donald be talk or something, say talk. And I will respond. Say Donald, hey, what's up, Papa?
Actually, Papa Donald.
Yeah, that was quite popular. So Donald, say, hey, who's calling me? So it became a Donald. So I wasn't affected. So, but I didn't want to talk and stand up. So most of the time I can't talk. Even my best friends knew that standing. But schooling at Navy time it was really good.
It's interesting how environment changes that perspective.
Environment is like brother, it's one of the I think if you ask me, environment is a really factor. It's the most effective factor. It can be negative or positive. Environment is the environment is your school where you attend. Environment is your place of work.
It is environment. It
forms a people. So your environment brings all of those things around you, and those are things that affect your life.
Yeah. Because some aspire to be something, but aspire to be what? If they never actually.
Yeah.
So the environment is like, oh wow, this is possible.
I shared this story with you. I possibly I really familiar who is the lead pastor of what's CCI. Because I don't know, CCI in Nigeria is not something. Because he grew up in Covenant Church. What's the name of it? I said, oh, and then Covenant Christian Church. And no, not Covenant. This church that owns Covenant University. Faith Tabernacle.
Oh, okay.
That was where he grew up attending. Said there was something he used to see on one of the doors when he's going to the junior class. I can't remember. And it's something about, I can't remember the exact words, but it's a positive statement that says something like nothing is too big to achieve. And now to be pastored by someone who's always claiming that this is possible. So he grew up with that mindset. Because saw that every time he went to church. So that's steadiness every time. So I can imagine someone growing up with that kind of mindset, that kind of environment, and now come out and start feeling to me that and I will not believe that this is possible. That's why the church will how many years has gone be about to the point that Pastor Paul G.P.M. of Covenant Center had to ask him to talk about it. So that's environment is.
You mentioned Pastor Paul. I attended his church. His first church, where it started, Ayaba, was close to my mom's house. Ayaba. Jibo.
I've been following him since then.
Yeah, since then also.
I mean, when he was was it STV? But I had 6:30 a.m. in the morning or 7. I can't remember. I used to watch it. Because what I liked about him was I'm used to it when he's gesticulating that. So
I love that was the first church where I was overly impressed by their worship. I like music. Also, like when it was different. Then he was preaching. What he was preaching wasn't overly spiritual. It was practical also.
The man teaches. That's one thing.
And then I'm lucky. I attended for like a month. Then they were like, okay, they've gotten a new place, another place somewhere in the city. It was like the testimony. I was like, okay, I think this guy is like going to be popular. Then the next thing, my classmate was like, oh, I'm attending the new church. His pastor is Pastor Paul. I'm like, hey, not the same. Not the same. And now I see him on YouTube. I'm like, okay, well. I'm like, well, I'll be starting together. So I'm glad also.
I'm going to say it because I know on this video, I'm going to have it also. I'm going to post it on my own channel. I'm going to mention it because, in short, if you can hear me following, I think I follow him on this, but his teachings from when he started, I can't remember the exact time and year, but from the first episode of him on television, I was watching. I think it was STV, I can't remember, but it was usually in the morning. I started watching it, and I will never miss. So it shaped his teachings shaped me. I was captivated by me just enjoying listening to him first because he gesticulates a lot, and so he's all right. Then I started enjoying what he was saying. Most of those things I applied there in my my life, and to date, even Wolfbeck, I don't watch live. Whenever they are gone, I watch all the videos. But this year I'm not seeing all of them. So I think this is that. As I told you, you really touched many of us that you don't know yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get that. We'll get that. So you attended this ladies' school at Global Cities. What was that? Because I'm sure you still a bit trying to understand the environment when you to junior secondary school. And then you enter your senior secondary school. That you did the same video. Was it boarding school?
No, it wasn't boarding school. So in the same video, nothing really changed. But just the only difference was in Jesus 3. From Jesus 2 to Jesus 3. You have to make a choice in my school to go for science. It was 2 ways. There's the distinction then was you will take introductory technology in JSS 3 or you take French. And I was taking French. I was the top 5 in French for just up to in my set. Okay. And I wanted to go into science classes in senior school. So I had to go to integrated class. And then in my street was for just S3 A and B. So were the potential science students. For those who took French, I was just S3 C to G or AH back in my street. So I progressed from that, and my class was 10. I had a 66.7% in GSS3 second term exam. And my position was 40th position. I was trying, I wasn't really brilliant. So imagine 66.75. That's a B. And I was number 40. And guess what? I will say this, I'll mention a name. My former GSS2 classmate who was in GSS3F, Shamaka Ifediora. I don't know where she is now. Shamaka Ifediora got 68% in GSS3F, and she was the first position. Because then they would announce all the first, second, third, and their percentages.
Interesting.
And I was saying, how can you imagine? So GSS3F, Shamaka got, what is GSS2F? No, I think GSS3F. So right now in GSS3, she got 68%. First position. And then 66.7%, 40th position. So it showed the number of winners in the science, potential science students. Was really so that's quite interesting. Then I moved to second senior school. Then I employed the science class.
Now the science, most secondary schools subdivided into engineering and the pure science. Are you like in the engineering or just
in my time it was just everything in the science. Maybe now they divide it, as the years come by, they evolve. In my day it was just science.
And at that point, did you have a clear view of what you wanted to become?
I wanted to be an electrical engineer.
Was there a specific reason of choosing that field?
Because I think then it was influenced by the idea of becoming an engineer, popular thing like engineering, doctor, lawyer, always and the area I was interested in. That's from time. But I liked to use the batteries, connect wires, get the propeller, and any device and tools.
That's like the go-to.
So
sometimes working in magnets too.
Yeah, so working magnets and bulbs, stuff like bulbs, connect wires. So I always enjoyed it going. And I watched my dad do a lot of. My dad was quite a handyman in the house, fixing things. So I watched him do those things. So I enjoyed it. So I had that flair. I had already some skills connecting wires. Even back in Jesus classes, how did all these particles. I was good with the electrical stuff, connecting batteries and later in the bulb behind using switches. So I enjoyed this one. Learning to be confident electrical. I do. And maybe electrical, electronics, and electrical. So that was my goal. But life happened. I couldn't get electrical engineering. I found myself in Federal College of Education after secondary school. At Koka, I did electrical electronics and education. So it was a technical education.
It's not quite what you expected, but I was actually thinking that actually you guys do more practical stuff than people that go to the university to learn.
Mine was not put separate. It was a college of education. This one was called College of Education Technical.
Yeah.
So there was some engineering work to do. So it's not deep engineering. So we're more like technicians and educators. So I think that was where my interest in education was developed. I was enjoying teaching my siblings in a younger extent. I didn't know that was going to be something I'd be in the future. Then people told me, different persons, older parents will tell you, you know how to teach. And maybe you become a good teacher. To me, that they teach well.
I mean, you've been teaching all along. You probably just didn't realize it.
So
Because elders, they teach.
yeah, actually.
So it's always been
I
in you.
taught my siblings.
Yeah.
I was an okay student. I did well, okay. Not the best, but I did well because I had to teach my own language. And yeah, I found myself in Finland College of Education Technical, I did electrical electronics education, and I continued at University of Nigeria. I did not, I refused to go to physical campus. I really couldn't about it. They had their, that department in Yabata, so I took it. Because I didn't want, if I give you the reason why I said I will not go to school. That's one reason. No, is I don't like to talk about it, but actually, that's one thing I don't like to talk about. I would just say it. Most of my friends who are Igbos, they didn't grow up in Lagos, who grew up in Lagos, but in homes where the parents were quite Igbo. My parents were Igbo too, very Igbo. But I was able to, I had some of the accent. I didn't like all those fast speed, it's something.
Is there a more conscious reason? Because that's almost like an excuse.
That's an
Yeah, it's like an excuse.
Yeah.
So
It's not an excuse. Yeah.
I'm trying to understand the reason for that. Like the
Okay,
subconscious reason.
The major reason was that, okay, if they have it in the other, why go to the east? I never wanted
I understand that,
to school in the east.
but that's one school out of many schools you could have chosen from.
Okay, there was food men, and I
really want to travel,
and that
especially to the north.
especially not only because of the crisis that happens. And my dad was not able to take that. He didn't want to take that risk. And then the other one was, I think there was another one. Is it? Okay. No, but the two major games I like to Chicago between. I didn't want to go to the north. And I've never wanted to school in the east.
Oh, for that is another time.
The Funam was not today, part of the day. Football. I didn't want to go to the east because my plan growing up as a Nigerian child, my dream was secondary school of honors school in Lagos, university in the north.
Yeah.
That was my dream. Really. Because I'm an Igbo boy on the east. So I wanted to have that Nigerian, that's the complete Nigerian experience. East. The south, the south is western.
Yeah.
East. So I'm from the southeast and I'm born in the southwest. I'm growing up in the southwest. I wanted to have my university education in the north. But then I started growing up, learning about how, volatile the north would be when there was during crisis. That changed my mind, like I started. I said, okay, but I'm still not going to speak an east. It's actually different. So, so when I discovered that Yabate had it, it's Lagos. It's tried to live in Lagos. It was, and my course in Lagos, in University of Isuka, Lagos, inside of Yabate was invested with education, electrical electronics. So that's why to date, now in Finland, I've not had any electrical issues in Finland, but in Nigeria, no electrician came to my house. Except when I veered into IT, into busy, then when you have to switch from generator to gen, and the switch over and it's not working, then of course I'm go to my house.
These are like the most common problems in Nigeria.
Every other thing I fixed, even my TV, I open it. I must look for the fault. I must find a way around
You
it.
remind me of Nigeria because whenever my mom wants my dad to do something, she'll start like, teasing you, like when you, oh, about talented. Come and look at this TV, come and look at this generator. And of course, he's going to sit down. I'm going to hold the touchlight first. You start doing things, then after hours, there's something wrong, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it.
Interesting. It seems okay. So you did about this test. You got to go out of Agegunle.
Yeah.
On that. Go out. You're constantly switching between not necessarily personalities, but yeah, you must have noticed that okay, these environments require different side. Almost like code switching, turning on and off. Was this something you were consciously aware of, or it's just, it was just natural that continually take into effect this?
My parents lived there, so there was every reason to always go back to be getting. I had family until I finally left. I went to my own to start a band. Then I was going back to the city. So that I have friends. Even the last time I traveled to Nigeria, I could have gone, but I was too busy because I went for business. So I was too tight. I wanted to go. I had a reason that I had a very good reason to show up there, but I couldn't because business was too demanding. So I didn't have time. So there was there was nothing intentional about it. Just that necessities. I mean, they are still there. For them, I have not gone to where they went to go to Europe, but they were good friends in the past. So anytime I visit, I feel so bad that the last time I went, I was too busy. But it's part of my Agegunle or the care to is part of my life. Even my kids, I'm not to I've been telling them how when you be all these three, just so you see what you see for yourself where I started.
So they've not been there.
No, they visit them at their very small kids, so they don't know anything. But now when I take them, show them this out there. Because I late that they didn't have talent. Is what you really get them. No talent because you cannot that part of Afrolydia Papa, no toilet because we're close to the sea. So the Atlantic Ocean, so you cannot dip in toilet. Because any little deep, there's water outside. So we go to the river, call it the sit out canoe. And just enjoy the breeze, especially at night. And they build toilets there. So we just defecate straight into the river. Because if you've seen any video about La Coco,
you have seen it's not those videos where there are settlements by the water.
Yes. In Makoko is actually on the water.
Yes.
But this part, me, I didn't grow up this way. So in the area. Some people know that it's there. It's not. The of us who were the major, very fluent there. Native Egypt, the water, our stuff. And so that's how get to I need.
Wow.
Yeah. So my kids have not been there to see you. So they don't know. So one day
it's interesting that, of course, I'm a bit tired to the future because now talking about the present. It's interesting how where you are today. Yeah, I'm sure you appreciate every little thing going on in your life, but I think that's what people appreciate for that. Yeah, if only sometimes we reach that okay. It's not like you want them to believe that, but you want them to also see what was. You have to be grateful for what is.
Yeah. And what I teach them is finding a good role. The last guest on my podcast said that was what I hoped that everyone needs to be respected. No matter who they have advice about human beings, obviously. So I teach my boss stance. Even back in Nigeria, when I'm not driving, I'm a single and because this thing is for kids, takes you short, means I didn't have opportunity to move for. I caution them would do that. Because that person is handicapped or is a baker, not by me. So I had to teach them how to even help. When they see all other kids in traffic coming to knock on the screen. Initially,
watching the window.
Yeah, I say, see. So sometimes I give them knowledge. And they'll ask me, should I do something? So it's good for them to see what those things and appreciate where they're, and also teach them to appreciate the person. Said I made fruity parts when we were upgrading, and today they are better than I am. Because confidence smile on them ending, some of them. So I tell them those things. So when I talk to them about now, the place I came from, so they know the name, and sometimes they get with me. I remember that among the visitors in Nigeria, they cost there to go see. Yeah, they'll see me get to. Not correct get to a group here.
Yeah, it's actually, and I appreciate your emotion in that perspective. That's my thought of ghetto. Of course, I've always been aware of that through the news and through some of my classmates that eventually I met to university.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Keto. Now, Keto is not extremely touched because we get gunshots like frequently. So I was also thinking, okay, well, that's also
Nice,
like
that's
Ghetto. Yeah. But is obviously
there's Ghetto and there's Ghetto.
yeah. You know something very interesting. Yeah. The first time I came to Pune, 5 years ago, I told someone, so the Finnish person, you know, when you're in the same school, at some point, during lunch or something, some of them are curious. Okay, where are you from? Blah 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 blah. Now, okay, I'm from Nigeria. And not to where do you stay here in Finland? I'm like, oh, I stay in Olympia. But I did in Olympia. They're like, oh, that's the ghetto. And I was like, there's a basketball court, industrial size washing machine, there's trees. Yeah. Where trees growing, like that's definitely not ghetto. It's not ghetto. Because ghetto does that type of trees. Yeah. There are these trees that it's someone's job to take care of. Yeah. I was like, how is this? I was like, okay, this person doesn't even know what she's talking about. So I just ignored it. Yeah. And sometimes it comes back to my mind that
I think because if the student apartment which they want to, like the Americans would say that the projects, but this is not getting. That's
no here in Finland.
This is the first time I've been hearing it. They're doing get it. They're not getting to it. That person just decided to call it that miss because I think that's most of the students, international.
An incident has not really happened there. Nothing looking like a race to know now. Maybe that 1 or 2 incidents happened. Not even here. But anyway, that's just that. I just thought to mention it.
Olympia is in the center.
It is.
So it's not a ghetto.
So how is it a ghetto?
I've never heard that before.
I was surprised when I heard it. I told Drew, I don't know Drew. But their roommates then. I was like, this lady said this is ghetto. And they were just laughing. So now you finished the bucket. Yeah. And you mentioned the wife. So was she your girlfriend at that time or just even after the bucket?
We met at Federal College of Education. Okay. We were several classmates.
Yeah.
I never liked her the first time I was
Very specific.
There are these guys in my class. There were all those radical boys and shout out to all of them, more and the rest. To me, I felt they were very good. But she was friends with them. I'm not really friends, but we're just free with them. Like, I had no reason why this, and we were not talking though. Those guys who, we were talking because we just great. Yeah. And I never liked how loud they were. Me, I grew up in the ghetto and ghetto is loud. We sound in chapel talking me out. But I have never been that ghetto to you. That was the discipline I had. So getting to the institution and meeting guys that talk that way, and I'm not from the ghetto. I didn't like it.
They expected
so
them to be reflection of the environment they are currently in.
But still, the environment that we're planning is Bariga, Shomu. So they were actually reflecting more. But I didn't like it because I didn't like what I had in Nigeria where I was still living there. So I was like,
they show you everything.
So I stayed on campus.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I just didn't like it. I wasn't talking to her then, so I just didn't like her for lines. Okay, she's like that. That's how I just always. Then I she must be act. Then one day we, for some reason, we quitted. So we kind of oh no, that's okay. We're walking and she was always someplace. I had to stop. We quitted. And that's my thing. Then we had to say something to each other. Well, two of us are classmates together. We went to where are you from? Surprisingly, we were from the same place, same state, same area, same. So, oh, you're my sister. And that's how we became friends. Sister and brother. And eventually, I got to know her better. I got to know maybe her. We started dating for some time. So I will did that for 9 months afterwards.
Okay, so you guys even got married way after the Yabate.
Yeah.
So what was that transition from Yabate to like now?
So after the Yaba Tech is the Isuka program, she went to University of Lagos. Okay. In fact, started all over from at the University of Lagos. Graduated a year after I graduated from San Isuka and dating and forward towards. I wasn't ready, and several times I told her I make nothing will get better. Feel free to so I don't keep you. We just had 2 years. Yeah. So not like she was way younger. I said that okay, what if still behind. Eventually, before graduating from the university, I was already teaching when I did my first teaching practice in 2006. I did it at Tolu Campus. There's a place called Tolu Complex, Tolu's Schools Complex. I think that was and will still be the largest school complex in the area of the University of Nigeria. I know in one of Nigeria it is where you have now that they're separated junior from senior secondary school, or at least that's 7 schools in one place. Saying there was I'm not saying the rule of class and one the place.
Yeah.
Like if this is Palusari, everything there is about six. Yeah. So I started to train one of the schools exploring at my teaching practice 2006. Teaching physics. That was my first time. And that was how I continued to train learning it. When I was done with more practice, they were telling me as a partner, they wanted me to continue calling us. Then should be called PTA teacher. And so I was money coming from the reality train. I liked it. I continued doing it. And until I graduated to 2008. Mind you, after secondary school, I was in for 4 years. Yeah, jam was jamming, And on my day, there was no jam application online until one day, 1 month, so it was like, and I went for my service to it was a delay also. My schooling has had delays. So there was a delay after graduation, not our own problem. Like school, like the NUC, all that. So, eventually, 2010, I went to serve. Then I served at Ambisabi University. I had to teach diploma students. I taught them telecommunications on the course. Yeah, I served on that professor for 1 year. And yeah, it was a good experience. Then I came back to Lagos. I was still dating my wife then also. She was already doing some practice in IT. She studied computer science at and in the lab. And yeah, she continued that trajectory, served and did a service IT also. And She continued the thing IT until Finland came.
Hey, so
Yeah.
you guys got married in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. We got married 2012. So actually, before we got married in 2012, one of the days I was teaching, I was explaining a particular concept, it's refraction.
Okay.
Refraction, light refraction. So I was explaining a concept. I used a thief and a police concept.
So explain light reflection.
Yeah, chasing a thief.
Okay, that's interesting.
Explain light, refraction between two different media, air and, for example, water.
Yeah.
So I was telling them how, imagine, so this is the ghetto.
Yeah.
So you use immediate and experiences that they can relate to.
Yeah.
It's the ghetto where there's always a thief somewhere. There's always the police chasing somebody. I said, so imagine a thief running and the police is chasing that thief and they run towards the sea and they dive into the sea. Then the police decides not to dive and then decides to shoot at them like you see
in the movies.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah. So the police target. I remember that this is air. The police is standing outside of the river in air, and the thief is already inside the river swimming. Now, if you know this topic very well, what should you do? The one guy said, you go deeper. I say, yes, you go deeper. Now, if the policeman knows about refraction, what should he do? After they said, because it will get into the sea, the bullet, as it gets into the sea, the speed will reduce.
Yes.
So you might not, so the person shoot ahead of the thief. That explanation said, so if you can see the thief in the river, then shoot ahead, so they will swim towards the bullet. So this man liked it. I didn't know he was watching me.
Wow, that's incredible.
And this was how Mr. Moji's died. So when I was done, he called me. There was this explanation you gave. That was awesome. I said, how? So I didn't know he was at the window.
Don't teach like that.
So he was watching me at the window. That was how he connected me into private classes. Then at this time I was collecting 5,000 naira as a PT teacher back in those.
Back then it
wasn't fair. Then he introduced me to private teaching 8K per month, 3 times in a week. Really, and it was difficult for me to accept because teaching one student, I was already used to crowd. Yeah, so that was how I started doing private classes, and I started getting more students. Then my chart started climbing through the same Mr. Mojit. And then money was coming in. I said, then I think now I can make some money, so let me get married.
Yeah.
My wife too was still doing that. I think from, what's it called? Youth service, from youth service to working, not really full time, but going to, to relieve people, going on leave. And there was, so we started saving towards marriage. So we did everything together, she and I, planning everything, planning the house that we'll rent together. We rented our apartment together, our first ever apartment together. And yeah, and I was able to get some more contracts. One man said something to her one day. Is it Mr. Oji? I can't remember his name again. Told my wife that when we were still dating. Because one day they were talking, and they talked about marriage, because man was asking her questions. Yeah. My husband is a tutor. She didn't like calling me teacher. Teachers don't really have money, back then. Yeah. So she preferred to use tutor. And so when they now ask, what does he teach? Then she would probably say he tutors students in physics and maths, So why it was better to use the word tutor. To me, I'm like, I'm a teacher. And the man told her this. Anytime you decide, two of you decide that, okay, let's get married, and you fix a date in the future for it, you'll be shocked how the things you need, the doors will start opening, to get those things. Because they were just gisting, an older person advising her. She was asking, okay, why are you guys not yet married? What's holding you back? And she was telling the man that he's just a tutor and, same, still, managing. Then the man told her that thing, from the day you decide, I want to get married, look for a date, start working towards it. The way will open. That money that you think is a problem, it will show up somehow. So one day she brought it up. Normally, when she brings up the idea, as a woman, I would shrink. My head, I'm not ready financially.
Yeah.
And at this point, we had already moved. We had already rented a place. Like, okay, let us rent a place. We did that together. She was still staying at her father's house.
Yeah.
I was living there alone.
So you met her family and her parents?
Yeah, they all knew me.
Yeah.
We were dating, so we had been dating for a long time. So they had already known me. Well, I wasn't really going to her house much. I'm about visiting. So she was staying at Akoka then, at Buloja, precisely. So I would visit and go to my house. I was never, I never liked sleeping over. Maybe once in a while. Or she coming to. So when we moved, when we rented that apartment, I was staying alone. She was staying at her father's house. Then she would come visit, then maybe stay a day or two, then she leaves. So then we decided, so the day she brought it up, I remember this day, May 5th of May. Yeah, 5th of May, 2012. She brought up this idea again of marriage. As I was about to shrink, said, hold on. Let's not talk about it like, I see that whenever I talk about it, you get scared, everything's money. So no, let's just imagine. That was how she put it. And this is what I believe was the advice that the man gave. Don't bring it up like it's a must now. Discuss it first. So that day, she said, no, let's just discuss. Imagine where to start planning. What can we do? Who do we know? Which friends? Definitely the Nigerian style. Friends must come around you. Yeah. It's okay, we don't want to do this for you. So who do you know? Then, so that made it an easier, discussion. So we discussed it as normal. He said, okay, imagine that we were going to get married October 6th, which was our dating anniversary, the date. Yeah. Should I date it October 6th, 2001 or 2002? Wow. Then I said, okay, October 6th. Oh, our anniversary. I see where you're from. So now we discussed it as a normal thing. There was I didn't feel any pressure. And she wasn't giving me any pressure, but that discussion, I was avoiding it. And we discussed and I realized that it's not too hard though. It's not that difficult. So okay. Then we started making plans from then. Now, because my teaching job was seasonal. I had a regular public school PTA teacher job. But the private tutoring was, based on seasons, when they need, especially towards exams. I said, okay, these people are supposed to take them this period. And this is supposed to be my child. And I would have, if I can save this amount, I started planning. And then she said, she has this amount of savings and we can do this. At least she has siblings too. Older siblings. I don't have any older sibling. So my sister is a caterer. She could decide, okay, don't pay so much for the cake. Give us discount. This is that person. And, we started making calculations. I realized that, this is not that difficult. You just to plan towards. And before you know it, I went to see my dad. Then he was still in Lagos, in Agegunle, precisely Oloja Papa. Said, so I call him Pale. I said, Pale, and I want to get married. My dad laughed. He laughed at me scornfully. I will not lie to you. This is what he did. He laughed and laughed. He want to get married. Do you have a job? Obviously, I don't get a job. Yeah. I'm just a part-time teacher, part-time tutor. But they didn't know how much I was doing. Yeah. Because I had moved I rented a place with my fiance. and I still was not really doing much. Yeah. And this was June. We discussed in May. Yeah. I went to see him in June. First week of June. So probably I want to get married. He laughed. You don't have a job. Go get a job first. Then you come back. I left. End of June, I went back to him. Said, Pale, I want to get married. So at this point now, he felt like, now this is getting serious. Yeah. So, do you have so and so amount in your account? I said, no. Said, okay. If you have at least half of it, then come, then we'll talk. Because you don't just go and get married. You go. Said, okay. Said, when next I come, we'll talk about it. And now this was July. I went back in July. I said, Pale, I'm ready. And as at this point, what I had in my account was 2,500 naira. And at this point, but there was a projection. This period is period for external exams. And my clients, they will call me. I knew they were going to call me, so I'm going to make money. I said, Pale, I'm ready. So how much do you have? I said, Pale, how much do you need? I was talking boldly now. Okay, this guy is serious. So how much do you? I said, how much do you need? Then we decided, made calls. Told my fiance, we'll be coming to your place in August. And that was it. She and I, we knew what was going on. We knew our the projections and the plans we had. Then went to what's it called? To go introduce myself first of all. To go knock on the door. Yeah. Went there and he didn't know how much I had. Luckily for me, one of my uncles, Day Peter, in my language say Uncle Peter means Day Peter. I went to him and said, the money that is calling is not, we don't use that, we don't need that, it's too much. But that doesn't, he has forgotten these things. Don't worry. Buy this and buy that and buy that. Then, because I needed to go with my uncle too. Yeah. And that's how we went. And luckily for me, the money has started coming in from those, and went, visited them, and we talked about the bride price and everything. All of this. It was in August. September, I went there. End of August now. This happened mid-August, the visit. End of August, I remember, first week of September, yes. I went back to my father-in-law alone this time. Yeah. So this is everything you asked for. But there was a list, which I didn't want to do. I said, how much is cash? Then we bargained back and forth. Thank God for my in-laws, my wife's siblings. They helped out. They made sure the bargain favored me somehow. Then I went and I said, this is the money. And that was all. I said, okay. When are we? I spoke with my wife and we fixed a date for the introduction. Everything was just going so fast and people were wondering, why is this guy rushing like this? End of September, no, not end of, during that same September. Sorry, the bride price, I paid it in August, during August. It was September, first week in September, we went for introduction. Okay. Everyone was surprised. I was going on. Then we told them our wedding is October 6th. They're like, what is going on here? Then my mom was asking me, it's not that you're rushing. Is she pregnant yet? I said, not yet. You can take her to go check test, Then they were thinking maybe she was trying to rush it. I said, no, when the money is coming now, let me just wait.
It's interesting that they think you're rushing it because you guys have been dating for years.
But the day I talked about it was in June. And from June to...
Because everyone said to have been expecting, okay. Yeah. At some point,
I wasn't working. So they knew they didn't have money. So what's going on? He just moved out. He just moved from his one room where he was staying with his brother in Agegunle that same January 2012 to somewhere else, a mini flat. Like they would call it room and parlor,
self-content.
Yeah. And now in June of that same year, he's coming to say he wants to get married. And now we have gone for The deduction within the space of how many weeks? And the date for the white of the like they call it church wedding is already fixed October 6th. What's going on? Are you trying to? You don't want to let us know that she's pregnant? There's no problem. Nothing not there. You've been dating since, and you're planning to get married. If she's pregnant, it's okay. So don't try to cover. As I said, no. Go and test her. See whether she's pregnant or not. And long story cut short. October 6th came. My entire family were surprised. Because I've always been quiet. I've always been the reserved person. You don't know what I'm going to do next. Yeah. I can be saying it, but you don't know how far I have gone with it. So that's how I had been. And even some of them were wondering, how did you get this wedding hall? Well, I just did what I could. And wedding came and passed. I got married just as the man advised. When you decide on it, make a projection, set a time for it, and work towards it. Because you are working towards it, where there is a will, there's a way. And families and friends help out. I didn't pay for my hall. My brother-in-law, I mean, he's not my wife's, her oldest sister now, they're based in Dublin. The husband paid for the hall. I didn't pay for it. So family came around and took one out, even friends. Some younger boys to me, like students age and who were more like I was a bro student, were surprised. They heard about it and they came with money. So yeah, bros, this is my own contribution. Oh, really? And they came. My wedding, I didn't lack everything I needed. And I did not borrow for it. Yeah. Because my wife and I, we have this principle, we don't borrow. We borrow when it's necessary. And all our lives, anytime we borrowed was because we didn't have the chunk, the bulk immediately. But we had the source to wait for it. So it's either we wait or we borrow from my second apartment with my wife. When we moved to a bigger apartment, 3-bedroom flat before we came to Finland. We decided, okay, let's move. I mean, we are getting better things are getting better. And leave this place and go to a bigger place. Then we said we'll not spend more than so amount. So okay, let us save towards it. We could wait to save for it. Said, let us not just be searching. If we find, we can get the money. Okay. And we searched. Spoke to one man. So I found that and said, okay, she want to speak with someone at her office, very big, he's very rich. Said, slowly explained to the man, I have this, I can save for it, but I don't want to wait. There's this opportunity that came out and this place is good. I can actually wait and find something else, but this one is good. And I would like to take it if you would lend me and I'll pay some amount every month. I said, okay, send me your account and that's it. It's like that. Because she presented it easy. The man knows she's working in this company. She earns around, at least he had an idea. And as she explained to the man, he said, not a problem. So I pay up within 6 months. Only 6 months, done. My wife is a good saver. So that was it. Every 6 months, anyone who pay one completed it. The man never even asked her. She just said the man have sent the money. The man said, oh, okay. Because it was taking change to him though. But the thing is this. She knew she could talk to somebody. And she presented it with a timeline and gave good reasons. I can save up for it. But the thing is, the opportunity just came. And I could let it go and wait for another one after I've saved up for it. But I would like to get this one. If you will lend me, this is the amount. And I'll pay this so amount every month. Within 6 months, it's settled. And so the man said, okay, she meant what she was saying. And already I had known how to be a disciplined person. And, so that is the kind of borrowing
that we have done. So we hardly, it's a principle. It's not an easy one, but we keep to it. So, but I can come to you now, Toby, can you lend me 25K? I'll give it back. I don't have the cash now. I have some of my friends that I could do that with back then, And when they asked one of them, why is that when I ask you for money, just give me? He said, because I know you have it. Because they know my work. I said, I cannot touch that account. Some of my friends know, where I do the investment. Can't touch it because I want to spend this money. They're saying emergency. So I don't have the money in my savings account. So that give me 60K there. And they don't waste time. Pam, pam, I'll give it back so and so day. And they know that my so and so day is always a week before. A week before I wire back the money. So that's how we've been living our lives. So the wedding came and went past, and yes, today. And we've been October this year is going to make us 13 years in marriage. We worked. I eventually started working with a company in 2014, 2 years after marriage. Or less than 2 years after marriage, though. But I call it a year plus. I worked for some years. My wife was working in IT, and then she convinced me to switch to IT. I said, no, I don't like all those IT things. I keep renewing, your certifications, keep upgrading. So this is stressful. Eventually, one day I agreed. After 3 years of working with where 3.5 years, I switched. Then I got a job, my first IT support job, and continued that way. And the thing I didn't like doing is writing exams, updating myself. The more I update, I get more pay. They pay me more because I have this certification in Microsoft, so they're not paying me this money. I have this IT certificate, so they have to pay me more. Right? It was interesting. And I was still teaching, tutoring. I almost stopped. In fact, I stopped tutoring at some point when I joined Total Energies, Equator. We're on 10th floor. I won't stop. My wife said, why would you stop teaching? Oh, is it because you're in IT? Okay, the money is doing this, so my money makes sense. No, don't do that, please. Teaching has been there since. Okay. Because my mom woke me up one morning, they tell me, they say, can we discuss? In my mind, I say, what have I done? Kind of, can we discuss? They go, well, we need to talk. We need to talk. Then when she started talking about it, I said, okay. And that day, as I got to work, God bless my colleague, Chiazo, or wherever you are, if you hear this. The Chiazo, this was February. I think 2nd of February. Chiazo, I teach maths and physics. Blah, blah, blah. Explain. Say, one of my cousin, daughter, blah, blah, blah. Then the Chiazo made that call to her cousin. Yeah. Then the man was still an executive director, but now he's the deputy manager, the second in command, GTCO. GTCO, not just GTCO.
That's the public.
Yeah, so that was how Chiazo connected me to. And it was his history. I started teaching, and that was that's my client that I play by before I consider any other client's time or schedule. Hers comes first, of course, before any other person, because she has been very consistent to date. Today, so and that's how I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention her name, but yes, I've said it. So she's she's the owner of Nini Foods. I'll say it here now. Sorry, I have to say that. Nini Foods, Nini Foods. Yeah, they have different variety of foods packaged. Her Ijebu garri is Yeah, so I've done smaller, small advert for her. Maybe she has to pay for it.
It's interesting you said Ijebu Gari, because we always have the idea that, people that are from the southeast, they like their yellow Gari.
I don't even like yellow Gary. If you make it for me, I will not take it. I don't even drink it. The Jamu Gary, the biscuits are the crunchy one. That. So if you bring me Jamu Gary, I'm selective. If not crunchy, I'm not.
Wait. When you say crunchy, do you mean the slapping or the actual texture?
See, the slapping and the actual. So a Jamu Gary is not slap. It's not a Jamu Gary anymore. And I drink it without sugar.
As you should.
And with fish on the side.
No good water. Okay, fish. Well, I always use granite. I don't have that money to buy fish like
because that. I grew up amongst Ilaje boys. I speak some Ilaje though. My Ilaje is better than my was Yoruba. Ilaje will say Bo Sega is Bawoni. Bo Sega is Bawoni.
When you say Ilaje, I was thinking
Ondo State.
Exactly. My mom speaks Ilaje. My grandpa is from Ilaje. I only hear her speak once in a while. From Ondo State, Ilaje.
Ondo State.
Yeah, but my mom eats a lot of pupuru instead of Ijebu Gari.
Do you know that I used to join them to make
pupuru? Yeah.
And
Did you ever eat black soup?
Maribu?
Yes.
Even though we call it is without fish.
Yeah.
Then there is a betasa. Your Bible say obata. But the main Ilaje with obetalasa. My God. When I traveled, I ate it. I'm saying this. My wife doesn't know I ate that food.
You know what? I'm based in Nigeria in February.
Nice.
I'll bring for you.
February is still for next year.
Don't worry.
If I'm not
time flies.
Yeah. So that's how my life has been. Then with my wife, we struggled together, and that advice made me continue my teaching. I just stopped for like 2 months or 3 months, but that advice, that February, I met, and that's how she's been my client to date. And I've met other clients. I've had other clients too. The last time I traveled was because of a client. Got through clients. I don't know if I'm supposed to take to mention his name now, but I will not send them. They invited me over, and I went to teach. Taught how to also teach my major clients, child too. And yeah, so teaching took me to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Same teaching that was like teacher.
Yeah.
Took me home, that I didn't have to spend my own money on flight fare.
Yeah.
Which is a big plus. Yeah, a big plus. So yeah. So whatever you are doing and you enjoy doing it, continue. Because I enjoyed it too. Now I'm not even just a teacher now. I'm more like a guidance and counselor teacher.
A coach.
Yeah, a coach. So I guide this. I know my students. And my selling point is I will make my students like the subject. That's my selling point. So they first of all like me. Once they like you, they want to hear whatever you want to say, any nonsense you want to say. They want to hear it. So, and that nonsense is maths and physics. Because it's nonsense to that student who doesn't like it normally.
Yeah, it's just jargon.
So, Mr. Donald, I like his class. I enjoy his class. So I make my class a conversation to talk about it. I give examples that they can relate to and laugh about, making them like that subject. Like the refraction example. I taught in the ghetto. I think that was what helped. Most of them are going through a lot.
Yeah.
They're going to go back home to hawk something. Hawk ugu or hawk something or hawk fish.
Yeah.
Or go to the market to help their mom. They don't have time to study. They are coming to give them calculations on the board, telling them divide the X and look for X and making it difficult. So you make their life more difficult. Yeah. So when they come to my class, make it easy for them. There's a planned thing to teach. I make sure I teach that thing. I make them happy. They laugh. and they are relaxed. Many students who have gone through my class never liked any of these calculation stuff. But eventually, the worst student became an average student. I had students who were already smoking in that hand. Yeah, that's the ghetto. I'm talking about now GSS2 students. I was more in the senior school. I still taught mathematics and GSS sciences when I had the time.
Yeah.
Some of them were already very, very stubborn, but I found a way around to make some of them, get interested. And a lot of them go through a lot of stuff. Many of them have been raped multiple times, abused. And at that time, you become a counselor. They come to you to confide in you. You talk to some of the things that some of them cannot tell their parents. They confide in you. They talk to you about it. In public school, then sometimes my ears are so full. Like, God, how is this happening? But you have to learn to encourage them, talk to them, and advise them who to go talk to. Because sometimes you don't want to get involved, and they don't want you to get involved.
Yeah.
Advise them, okay, talk to so teacher that I know that this one is very responsible and, advanced age. Go talk to so person. Go talk to this principal, or go talk to this man in your church. Because some of them I know those people. Or go talk to that grandma, to help them, and get their life on the right track. Yeah, so that's how my life has progressed. Even to date, my students that I teach, my private class students, and some of them confide in me and tell me some things, and those things are quite deep. I have to talk to the parents like, please use wisdom.
Talk to your child about this.
About this topic, and not serious, not terrible things, but about this idea. Then parents will find a way to talk about this so that the child will not feel that like I told their parents. But sometimes when they tell me something, I say, no, your mom or your dad needs to hear this. So Mr. Donald, I say, then I'll give them reasons. So, but I don't want to start yelling. I say, no, not hear. Now I'm telling the parents. So don't. Then the parents too will understand and find a way to talk about it. Because I have children too, growing up. And, you want your children to talk to you about some things. And sometimes they don't want to talk about those things. And this has helped my relationship with my clients. I remember this client I had at first chapter. My student was my height then. A girl in SS3, fully mature, physically. But they could leave the girl and I in the house. The mom will go and do her business. Why? Because somebody vouched for me. And somehow that's in my character and, and sometimes when I'm done, or maybe I'm going to use the ATM, they'll walk with me, we'll pass through the mom's shop. Then the mom that she's walking me to the ATM, the mom will not even budge. Where are you going to? Because over time they will say that, okay, this person done all these nuts. So it's a difficult job and it's risky. Because if anything happens to the home that you're going to, the first point of call, the first thing they'll ask, how many people have come to this place with this short time? So imagine me, a regular person. Police will definitely come to me. Yeah. Please, we need you for some questioning. And if I'm a bad influence on the kids, it's going to be a problem. Yeah. Especially when these kids already are close to you. They can confide in you. So, yeah, my life has been full of more of people getting to know me and trusting me, which is very, very important. And I try to maintain that good name. I'm not perfect, but I try to maintain that good name, which is the same thing I teach my kids. Let them know you for something good. Yeah, so
that's, I keep saying wow, it's like each wow is like a bigger wow. That's interesting. I love that story so much because now I have a totally different perspective when it comes to teachers.
Okay.
Most perspective we know is from our own personal perspective once.
Yeah.
And then friends and
Mm.
family. But it's mostly about us from the other side.
Yeah.
Not from the pulpit side or not from the board side.
Okay.
It's like, okay, this subject was difficult. Okay, I like this teacher because he did this, but I don't like this teacher because of this, that. Now we are hearing a teacher say how he was trying to break the wall.
Yeah, I also had my own experience as a student. I never liked chemistry in secondary school because my chemistry teacher didn't make it interesting to me. And I didn't like geography because my geography teacher was always going to sit on the window, the one that the louvers had broken off, and we'll talk there and say blah, blah, blah. I hated that blah, blah, blah. So geography, this the mountains and the rocks and the blah, blah, blah. What's blah, blah, blah? So I never liked it. But I enjoyed mathematics so much because of Mr. Jimo. Yeah, I enjoyed physics because of Mr. Aseja. I loved physics. It was when I got to the higher institution that I started liking chemistry. It was a compulsory for the beginning of my first year. And in fact, my chemistry was in two ways: organic and inorganic. Yeah. The organic one, Mrs. Keshiro, God bless her, wherever she was. That was when I understood organic chemistry.
I understood organic chemistry.
Yes, the other one taking the inorganic physical one was another terrible person. To me, like what kind of problem is this? But guess what? That chemistry was what made me, I wouldn't say brilliant, but what made me sit up and made me remain a very good student. Top 3 throughout my high institution days. Never left that top 3 in my classes. This chemistry, not even the organic that I enjoyed.
The inorganic.
The inorganic guy will come to the class. Class is filled up. There's a spillover outside through the window.
Yeah, because you guys are from every faculty, almost multiple.
So it was a combined.
Yeah.
So chapter 2, chapter 3. If you don't have the book, borrow the book and read.
But you're one of those guys one of those students that teach other students during exam time.
Okay, during exams, yes.
I mean, teaching other students on the board, like a teacher, breakdowns.
I never did that. I never liked it. It wasn't my thing. Remember, I was a shy person.
Okay.
And being a stammerer, I was quite reserved.
In
the exam hall, I can tell you something. When nobody's seeing me, I can tell you. But what I never liked was to go into the exam hall with something.
The
expo.
Yeah.
And don't bring it around me.
Yeah,
because I like to keep to the rules. I don't want problems. That's my lifestyle. Avoid unnecessary problems, to yourself. So this man would teach. I wasn't understanding nothing. I couldn't buy his book. One day, I borrowed the book, made photocopy. I read it from front to back, to the end, from the end to the beginning, before his test. And his test was everything about his course assessment, apart from the exam. Course assessment was 60. Course assessment was 40. Exam 60.
Yeah.
And those who had gone, had done it before, passed, they said his test was German OBJ. That was the word then.
Yeah.
All those chemistry, this dash.
Yeah.
Hydrogen, blah, 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 dash. No options.
No options.
So I read that book from beginning to the end. I read it forward and backwards. I must read this book. So my mind was 40, must get to 25. Because chemistry was my weakness. And I got to the test. I didn't leave the test until they said submit. Submit he came to me to collect the book from my hand.
Yeah.
So I must wait. Until I don't remember any other thing. And that was what I did. I told my friends, this course I will wait till the end. Sat down there and write. To me, I had written 25 over 40. I got 38 out of 40. So it went viral. And back then, they will paste the result on the board
Even till
with
now.
a matric number. So
Till
people
now.
knew my matric number.
Yeah.
So the highest then was one Muslim girl, those ones that covered their faces. 40 out of 40. She was in sciences. I was in technical. I was in engineering. She was in all those, maybe I think biology, sciences or something like that. 40 out of 40. So I was the next. 38. My name Blue. Who has this matric number? I say one guy. The guy is in electrical. His friend is that yellow boy. My friend was very light skinned. So Oyibo friend now. Donald. Say Donald. That's how my name Blue. So they were coming to tell me, Donald. So you're Donald. So what's going on? Then I didn't know about it, the results. I heard it was out. In my mind, I don't get my 25. I don't know anything about that in this chemistry. I'm not going there to check. When they came to me and they told me get it, I said,
you have to go and check yourself.
I went and I saw it. Get it. And I remember the quote. The problem is not to get to the top, it's staying there. That was when I started reading. To maintain my status, don't drop. Start reading hard, reading more, reading deeper will. And I don't know how to read for long. So what I do is every day I read something. From whatever they've taught, I read something. Every day I must read something so I can remember it. And that was how I continued then. I remember first three. I was not the best. I was never the best, but. And I was a regular guy. I had a girlfriend. I hang out. But the best student was Ezekiel guy, or a guy in Obuksha. Mine is get an A. I know that from, I think, 70 to 100 is A. So what's my problem?
Yeah, you don't get 99. Yeah.
Ezekiel can get 100, that's a business. When did the guy ask me, how do you manage? I don't go to the library. I will sleep off because my library then had air conditioners. I'll sleep. Only went there to do assignments that I didn't have the book for. Let's go there, you find it, write, and we'll go. But to read, classroom reading, never. All those midnight reading, I never tried it. Tried it once. I got tired, like, what are they doing here? What am I doing? And I went there to gist. But I found a way of making life easier for me to read every day. I read and sleep off. And that was helping me a lot. I read my book and sleep off. And I remember that in that I've read. And it was working for me. And yeah, the rest is history. That was how so that helped me. My experience with not liking some teachers, the way they taught. The teaching in the ghetto, where you have to teach. Yeah, I mean, you have no choice but to make them understand it.
Yes.
And to be honest, some teachers didn't care. Just teach. You understand? You don't understand.
Even those that did care.
Sometimes it's
frustrating. It's frustrating.
You know what? I mean, I've taught both sides. I'm not taught in private schools too, but as part-time. But I never liked to be a full-time teacher. Then I was advised to apply to public teaching. I said, no, I don't want to be. Private school, I said I will not be. If you need me as part-time, I can come, but full-time. And then they ask me why. I don't want to be a full-time teacher. So what you pay them does not commensurate with the efforts that they put in. So, and I've taught children who attend the bigger schools in Nigeria. So I'm all around. There's some teachers who cannot teach in the ghetto. They'll get frustrated. Because these are children from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Children who have suffered. So I'm left the house crying. And they know that once they ring the bell in the afternoon,
they are going back.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you don't want to make their life more miserable. So when they're in my class, I make them happy. And in a disciplined way. And that was me. I think I was lucky also in a way that they respected my rules. So I had a principle. You don't come to my class frowning. Don't do that. You must be in my class smiling. Well,
one of the G's then. You're not like just a teacher.
Yeah, so I was like
the older brother.
Their friend. I just come and when I say everybody quiet, everyone's kind of quiet. I just had this way with them that helped me throughout. Even when I was teaching in the school, so also in the evening, I teach at tutorial centers. I was well loved and respected, you know. So that's how it has been. Yeah, until I stopped IT. I stopped IT in 2020. Yeah, my company, one of our contracts where I was working, last place I worked in IT, ran merchant bank at Ozumba, by the way. My original company lost the contract that we had with them because I was majorly working on other companies on client sites. Yeah, so I was asked to come to the office. Said no, there's no growth being in the office. I will not grow. What will I be doing? So I stopped. I resigned officially, and I focused on my teaching. My wife didn't really like the idea. I said, this is what makes me happy. The IT job was good, but the money was good, but I wasn't really happy with the lifestyle of wake up in the morning. Every morning I feel like, because I was living on the mainland, working on the islands, wake up in the morning, I'll be like, God, again today. That's not a good life. But the money was good. Yeah. So when that time came and I resigned, it's a breath of fresh air. Like, finally. So I could walk I leave my house at 2 p.m., go teach. I was still making money. Yes, it was seasonal. But my wife was in the office. I was an IT project manager. I was earning more. Yeah. As a teacher. Yeah. So, but that feel of you have a regular income, a regular job. So I'm a businessman. My business is teaching. So leave her for me like that. It's not like sometimes if I want to, joke with her, like, how much is your pay? So sometimes when I get this much clients, like, it's my money. How much is it? That's
yeah, no, it's a friendly banter, so
yeah. So yeah, teaching has been there, and I've not stopped it.
That's incredible.
That's why I would want, but the only place I've always decided to teach is in the higher institution, the tertiary level. Yeah, I'm not. There's no. I don't. Okay, since I came to Finland, I don't know if I should say this. If you don't have to, but I desire teaching in a vocational school. Yeah, I can teach senior secondary, level in Finland. But if they ask me to pick a choice at that level, I would prefer to go to teach vocational students.
If you don't mind me asking, why vocational?
It's okay. Let me say because of the internationality of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like teaching a diverse group of people.
You see why before we started rolling on the camera, when you first mentioned you were shy, you see why I said I don't think you are shy.
Okay.
Right? Because people used to call me shy, and I know I'm not shy.
Okay.
Until I actually met someone in Turku. If you are not an immediate member of his family, he can't talk to you. Not that he does not want to talk to you. He can't talk to you.
He can't, yeah.
So I was like, I was like, that is shy.
That is shy.
Yeah.
My own shyness is you, maybe, for example, doing something in front of the camera. I'm very shy. I can't do, all those singing on the camera, or me just, getting the camera to just talk by myself. That's another shy thing about me. But interviewing someone, I'm not shy. I enjoy it. Talking to someone, being interviewed, I enjoy it. But only me in front of the camera, I feel that it's not me.
Yeah.
Or dance. No, don't even call me to dance.
Yeah, dance, girl.
Ordinary me taking pictures of myself.
Even in church, I don't dance. That's how shy I am.
I try to dance
when it comes to that. Because I move, I do like this.
I try to
If I'm holding my daughter, I
Mm.
dance with her. So when I'm my daughter, I'm not shy to dance.
Sometimes I try to kill that shyness and just dance. And if I see that you're looking at me too much, I pause. But sometimes I just get out of it and feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then you heard of Finland. How did you come about hearing about Finland? How was that process like?
okay. We never thought of traveling. It wasn't a plan. My wife's siblings were already in Europe.
Yeah.
She didn't really have any interest in it. And neither did I. We just enjoyed our comfort zone. What are we going there for? Then eventualities, different things happening around us. Okay, let's consider traveling, living in Nigeria and see. It was my wife that came up with the idea of this thing in Canada that they do. What's it called?
It's like the PR.
That's the PR thing. Yeah, you write the IELTS. I tried IELTS first time. I think I did it 3 times. So wait, must I get all of? And first of all, when she brought up the idea, I hated it. Why would I be writing English exam? It's because the idea of writing IELTS. I'm sorry if I become the president of Nigeria, or if I get to any position in Nigeria, which I desire, and I can influence all these IELTS, I'll tell them to scrap it.
I get what you mean. It's a form of, I wouldn't say segregation per se, but we are English speaking. Our education system is English speaking. I remember I applied to Novia.
Yeah.
And they asked for certain credentials. I gave it to them. They asked for English proof, and I wrote to the school.
Yeah.
The school wrote an official letter that I studied in English.
Yeah.
They rejected it. They said it has to be IELTS or TOEFL.
That is what I'm talking about. They need to recognize, okay, so now imagine that at Vamia. That's Vamia because it's not high institution. But I know the high institutions accept WAEC.
Yeah.
So Vamia should be accepting WAEC too. That's what I'm talking about. They need to recognize. I don't know if this is our own country not doing some things. Maybe the educational system, maybe there's some policies or something or some kind of treaty that is supposed to have, that will make these people recognized. Because if university can accept WAEC,
yeah,
no, not all of them would. I mean, I know that,
but at least Novia does.
And I think most of them in this VASA, they do. Some of them outside the VASA too. They do.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just the school that decided, no, we don't want that.
And also people from, when I say people, I mean the officials, like those on the education board and blah, 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 they have to push for. Yeah. When I was in Vamia, my first year, there was an exchange program with people in Vamia and Nepal. Now, Nigeria has more, I believe, academic prowess than Nepal. So why is it that Nepal has an exchange program with Finland? It must have been that they reached out.
These are the things.
Yeah, exactly.
That is why I'm going to say, this is the first time I'm saying it on an interview. I desire to be a minister or a commissioner for anyone for education in Nigeria, because that's things I've learned since being in Finland. And my master's here is in education. So I think I want to, from my wealth of experience, studying education in Nigeria, teaching, and coming here to study it, and even doing teaching practice. There are some things I've learned. So my wealth of experience, I would really love to. I'm not looking for it, but if the opportunity comes, presents itself, I'll go for it and effect some changes as much as I can. That's why. So that was how the Canada thing, I wrote IELTS first and second time. I can't remember if I did it the third time, but I remember that I told my wife, I'm not doing this thing again. My saga is 777 or what? What was that? then I'll be in a pool. So I'm not interested. Call it pride or ego. It's not my business, but so I'm not doing this again. Then we change plans. Then I gave my wife my condition. So as an IT guy, all I needed to do was write more certifications in IT to earn more money. And that was what I was doing. Huawei paid me up to $1,000 for writing Huawei exams and passing.
Yeah.
Because my company had a partnership with them. So I said, now if I must go anywhere, I should be going to study, do masters. I had always desired a PhD, which I've not started yet. Said I'll go for masters, then pursue PhD. Then we started looking out for that. I applied to the same Canada, get admission. I said no. I mean, I get admission, but visa didn't come. I already talked about it on
Mr.
Steven's show, and I changed plans. We started looking at the UK. And because we have a principle of not borrowing and not selling any property because you want to japa.
Yeah.
And after I gained admissions, about 4 of them, when I did my calculations, then
it was a
NHS, I was spending all my money. Then this is too much. Family of 4 said, I'm not going to do this. All my money will go like that. And I told my wife, this was now first week of February 2022. So let us keep all of these ideas. This UK, I will do what's it called, defer admission. Wait, let me check Europe forever. Not the non-UK, within the EU. Now I decided my research. I wake up 2 a.m. in the morning, open laptop, research. And I was always searching. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I did research a lot. There was no country within the EU I didn't check. Requirements, everything. Until I narrowed it down, I streamlined it to where they're not asking me for legalization on all documents. And I found out that Finland and Sweden were not asking me to legalize educational documents. That's fine. Marriage can be legalized, no wahala. So I chose Finland and Sweden. I already knew much about Sweden. Like, Sweden had been popular from time. Finland, I didn't know much. I did my digging deep into Finland for that. Sweden. And I applied. And eventually I got Finland. I know Sweden was my first choice because I knew much about it. Yeah. I was just getting to learn about Finland. I just knew the name. Then I was just getting to learn. I started doing some. After I applied, I started reading. No, before I applied, I started doing some digging. Even to the schools, I sent emails. I would send email, look for a school. If I see a course that I like, look for the school website. Now send an email to somebody. They're asking them, does this is what I have. See my transcript. Is it good for this course? And somebody will say no. So I will not work here. I will not. That was how finally I chose a particular course or some courses. Then I applied, and I didn't get Sweden. I got for one place in Finland. And yeah, so it took me 9 months to decide to do my research and decide that, okay, Sweden and Finland. Because I took my time. Because then when I checked was, I realized that most of the schools, their admission period were November, December, and January, February within the EU. I said, oh, now this is February 2022. I have time to do my research. So I researched towards November, December of that 2022. I did all my I made sure I took my time. And so I said, okay, Finland and Sweden, theirs will be in January. And I said, okay, I'm going to wait. I didn't do some other places like Norway and Germany because of that. Their Is it Germany? No, in Norway. And I can't remember that place, but that bulk money that you have to put in first.
Oh yeah, in a locked account.
Yeah, in a locked account. No, I don't like this idea. So I realized Sweden and Finland were not doing that.
Did Poland do that also?
Poland was not even it wasn't a choice place, but I searched it. All those Slovenia, everything, anything, any country in the EU, I checked. So, and then with the idea of, I prefer the Schengen zone, my permit, I can just move around, and that's fine. As our Finland, I checked on Finland, that's when I knew that, Finland is the happiest country for, why are they the happiest country? It's safe. Yeah. It's not because the people laugh a lot. No, it's safe and corruption is less.
Yeah.
And I check all those other things, how they value family life and children and, all those. But this is a good place. And the key thing to me as a family man was safety.
Yeah.
I grew up in the ghetto.
Yeah.
Where you look over your shoulders all the time. You must be alert.
Interesting that you even said that. I forgot what it was. It felt normal.
So yeah, it was a normal thing.
But now it's not.
If you know someone is walking behind you, 12 midnight, you are walking maybe 10 p.m. and it's dark during winter. Someone's walking behind, you are walking behind a thing. They don't look back.
When I came into Vasa yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't really, until you mentioned it now, I actually still, look. I still check.
Like this guy in front of me. He's not checking who's walking behind him. And it's dark. Along the bush path. They don't look back. Why? It's safe. What will happen? What could go wrong? That is because they're used to this safe environment. So, but growing up in the ghetto, you have to be alert. Anything can happen. So when I realized that this place is like that, okay, Finland it is. Then decided to choose Finland, and I got it. And we are here to.
What was your process like? The application process from the Finnish side and from the Nigerian bureaucracy side, especially the latter, the administrative side from Nigeria side.
I was surprised that this is one thing that is not common yet in Nigerian schools. Official email for lecturers.
Yes,
they don't use it. Some schools have it, but they don't use it.
Even I was surprised that I had email address as a student. Like I didn't know till I didn't know till I was like graduated.
Yeah, lecturers. So it was cool for me to send an email, and they would respond. So I'm not saying response of after 3 weeks. So somebody responded the same day.
And sometimes it might not even be email. It might just be like a message on Teams.
And their numbers were there.
Yeah.
Phone number. I said, really? You call professor? You call a professor? You send an email, professor has time to respond. So really?
In Vania, for example, on our Teams, there's this app we have as students. You can hit the search button and search anybody's name. There is a teacher or even the head of Vania.
Yeah.
The person's name will pop out and phone number.
So is this how easy it is? There's no bottleneck bureaucracy, right? You must it's not massive compared to Nigeria. We need to work on that actually. I should walk up to any professor. Here, they like you to make an appointment so that you will not be busy.
So they can properly schedule.
Yeah.
And it's mainly for your sake also. So they can have time to address your problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see them and they're passing by, you stop them and they can, if they're not in the hall, they talk to you. That's the way they do that normally in Nigeria. We don't really do that. So the application system was, and I liked the fact that I could apply with one application to 6 programs.
Yeah.
Sweden was one application for 3 programs. So it was 6, which made sense. There was a lot of, oh God, please help me. But I never wanted the one. Eventually, the 6 programs, only one sent me an email that they were having technical problems. 5 had said no already. One. At this point, I was scared. Because at that time, I had made up my mind. It's time we got to move. So my mind was already.
It's interesting how you were like, no, first.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, no, we have to.
So my mind was already there. And eventually, they said technical problem. That night, the first night, as I saw the email, I woke up that night. I said, God, technical problem was turned to admission. I didn't know I was on, what's the word?
Wait list.
Waiting, the waiting list. I didn't know. Then eventually, the email came. I remember where I was. I was in the car. We were buying corn, roasted corn. So my wife had crossed. I was already buying. I was just in the car waiting. Then my phone, I checked. I saw the name of the school. My heart flipped. Like, what? I opened it. I was just hitting my stairs. So my wife noticed. I said, what happened? Admission has come. It was on a Friday. We were so happy. So why I chose Finland and Sweden, I checked it. The money I have it. I don't need to think too much. I wasn't even going to spend up to half of everything I had. When I gained admission, all I needed to show was 3 million then. And the Naira exchange.
Yeah.
3 million. It was 503 Naira to €1 then.
Yeah.
3 million.
Wow.
I put at 6 million.
It's interesting.
I showed 6 million. I said, what is it? You know, even this travel. I just carry 6 million. Money say plenty.
Wow.
But you know how much?
It was like 7 million, but I had 3.5. My sponsor had the rest, so it was okay. But continue. Yeah.
I said 3 million. I said, it makes I made 6 million. And I applied this month. I went to the embassy on Monday. This Monday, the following Monday. I got it.
That fast?
Yeah, that was that fast. I was surprised.
Wow.
I think I used, because my insurance was one of the ones they mentioned on the Finnish immigration site.
Okay.
Swiss Care. I used that one because I was searching for anyone in Nigeria. I wasn't getting. I just used that one. I paid for it, and so because they will verify everything.
Mm-hmm.
My funds were intact. The lesson I learned from my Canada application.
Yeah.
My funds. So I didn't do it by myself. I had someone helping me. I only knew what was going on. But this one, I decided on my own. Nobody. I'm not asking anybody, no agent. I'm going to do everything by myself.
It was an agency for the Canada.
Yeah. And this guy had helped others. I helped someone I introduced to him that got and traveled. Said now on my own, by myself. I will do everything by myself. That's why I took my time. Because there was work. I'm taking my time. Anytime I had time, I would. So I got it. Yeah, I didn't have to spend so much. I came down, waited for my family is now applying same time. Because we didn't know that we could legalize our documents before even admission came. So when I realized that, I needed to legalize, I could have done that. So I knew when we started doing that legalization, which of course VFS took time to legalize document, about 62 months plus. Then we just kept on, and they applied December. That's when I left September. They applied. They went to the embassy in December. The embassy did not respond. Kept on pushing. It's only 3 months time. Before I know it, 6 months time. Then we're not saying 9 months time. I said, good. So they said 9 months is the max. But upon the June the following year. So they went to embassy December. So let's say 6 months after, from January the next year. June, they answered my family. They got theirs, and they joined me in July. They had their permit, so they were not much worrying anymore. So planned everything, and they joined me. And all of this process, borrowing in the sense that at some point we had to borrow money. When Tinubu entered, they did the devaluation of the naira.
Yeah.
So it made it triple in amount that we had to show. Guess what? We had the amount for them to show, but the idea of adding surplus.
Yeah.
So we had to add surplus. We got from a family friend. Sorry, not family friend. My wife's older brother. He is abroad.
Yeah.
He's based in Sweden, and I was like, my wife was skeptical about it. To be honest, we actually did a bank stuff, like to add money to it from the bank. But at some point we checked it out, this money will be too much. No, the interest will be high. We have the money already. But that fear of, would they not think that this money is just the amount is just a little higher, and there is, fluctuation in the value of the naira.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they expect us to have much more? Because mine was 3 million to show, but I doubled it to make it 6. Okay, let us. So we canceled the idea of the bank. Yeah, so I talk to your brother if he. And those who are abroad, they know how far. And he had some naira. He wasn't going to use immediately. Then, because he understood, he said, for that, why not? You don't add surplus so that they will not say you serious. So that was how he gave us somewhat other surplus. Instead of you having, imagine them were showing 19 million, make it 22 and 3. So no matter how, the value of the naira, fluctuates to not be
within that range. Yeah.
Just within that range. And that was it. And he knew that his money was not the one that we were borrowing it for flight tickets.
Yeah. It's just to have.
Yeah, so he gave us that to have that surplus. And yeah, when thing came out, went back, said, see your money back. And yeah, and they joined me. Yeah, so this is one thing at some point, sometimes you will need help and you need to borrow to add up to what you have. Yeah, but if you are lucky that you have saved, because we all that time of, I'm not interested, we're saving money, they were just saving for us, savings. Then when we now decided that, okay, let us consider so all the days of Canada waiting and how many years going trying IELTS, we're saving big time.
Yeah.
At this point, we're saving big. I was saving more than half my income. My wife was saving more than half our income. We're just living with parents. No luxurious lifestyle. We're saving more than half. More than half of each person's income. Let me be specific. When I was with Rand Merchant Bank, I was earning 400 plus. I was saving 400 straight. No jokes. Saving 400. No, there's not. My wife said this. You are saving everything. There's nothing like you want to remove small. Save that. No, you cannot touch it. And what she says that I'm not in a serious matter. So, and I was still teaching on the side.
Yeah.
My teaching, sometimes I could make more than what I was earning. Yeah, there's a time I was earning up to 600K from teaching. Monthly. No, but that one is seasonal. So when I earn that, my wife knows how much income comes in from my side. So we have to save some so more from that. It was annoying, but see.
It was necessary.
This is my small 600K I will get within how many months. Just say because you don't get company, your papa don't get company. So say if you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Yeah, it was a discipline that was a tough one, but then we didn't know it was going to eventually help us. Those times went past and the money became useful. Then we started doing investment, mutual funds. She brought it up. She learned it from a friend and we started it. Then started pumping our money there. Mutual funds is better than savings account.
Yeah.
Because when so the benefit of compound interest daily.
If sorry for diversion, if I have to ask, which one then is better, the index funds or the mutual funds?
Honestly, index funds and mutual funds are similar,
except one is more passive than the other.
Yeah, so index fund, I think, from my research, is more of an American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really the Niger. It must now all those because those index funds like 500 companies.
Yeah.
So I think index fund is better if you have a good access to it. But if you do index fund from Europe, they're taxing you on it. So that's taxing. So but in Europe they have more of ETFs, and ETF is. I'm not a risky investor. I don't take high risk or those. I want to be sure that my capital is safe.
Wait, but ETF, I know the meaning of the abbreviation, but is it like commodity based?
Now, when it comes to those investments, I don't know those terms. Really.
Like exchange traded funds.
Yeah, ETF is.
So is it like commodity based, like gold, silver, oil?
I think it is all of that.
Okay.
Because it's not just one area.
Yeah.
That's how mutual fund. That's how index fund that into is several investments. So you can hardly have a loss because if this company is not doing well, the other one is doing well.
Yeah.
That's why Dave Ramsey, I follow him. Is big on mutual funds.
While Buffett is big on index funds.
Index funds.
Yeah.
But I've watched that one. I've watched both of them. At least I've listened to index fund. I love index fund. So Dave Ramsey, favors index funds too. Because you're not losing. The main thing is your capital is safe.
Yeah.
But they will tell you that it's a slow system. It's slow.
Yeah.
But it's slow and steady. I'm sure that something is coming in. So I don't do single stock. Yeah. But I've not started doing it here in Finland. I'm still exploring to see which is best and which ones they have. I've not started yet.
But then the mutual funds, I'm assuming then it's like back home.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any say in the participation of the investment itself, or is just up to the managers? Like, for example, that this Dangote thing is coming in June. If you want to be a part of that, is it like then you have to invest basically in that, or the mutual fund is going to be?
The ones doing that, the managers. Yeah. Okay. Even there's one I still have with Stanbic, Nigerian one.
Yeah.
But still there because I earn. What's the reason? Okay. Some naira if I teach goes into mutual funds.
Yeah.
You understand? If I teach, and when I teach, and they go into mutual funds with Stanbic. So that one is still running and makes sense compared to savings.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here in Finland is in euros, and all my money is here in euros. Yeah. So I'm still looking for those, asking my banks about all these investment funds here, which one's good. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's cool because these banks, they have so many options. Like there's one I did with my bank. It's like they have so many options. Yeah. This specific one is dedicated for like US. And the thing just went down.
Yeah.
Like it's been over a year now. So the thing just went down like 30% of the money just went like that in the first one. Like, what's going on here?
That's investment for you.
Well, now it's just like 2% above the principal now.
As long as the principal stays, it's not going anywhere, then I'm fine. I'm good with that. Because it's way better than savings account. Way better than savings account. In a year, they might give you 0 point something.
Yeah.
In fact, with S-Bank savings account, there is 0%. 0%. So it's better to, even with S-Bank, we open an account, my phone, at least that's more percentage. That even if it's 1%, let it gain something. So that's 2K I'll put there, let it gain something. One small fraction. But that small fraction can still buy that chicken, €3, something.
Mm-hmm.
Can say buy some manna, buy some K rice, €1 or 99 cents. It's still something compared to just zero. So
Yeah. So sorry for going off. It just
I mean-
happened in the moment. But then now you have found safety.
yeah,
And a lot has changed
yeah.
from the time you came till now. Now we're in the present, in the stage of your story right now, like in this tales we've been telling, we're in the present. Now you wake up in the morning, I'm assuming now. You look at your kids, they might still be asleep or they might be awake, whichever one.
Yeah.
There must be a form of accomplishment, a
Yeah.
form of positive pride that, okay, this is the future I envision. Yes, there is more to come, but currently, I have done this, I'm fulfilled.
Yeah.
Take me through that reconciliation with everything that happened in the past and right now, trying to start over in a new country.
Just as my partner would say, Mamos will say, the tomorrow you thought of is the today. And the today is going to be the yesterday by tomorrow.
Yes.
That's the way he puts it. Yeah, there's this sense of accomplishment. Yeah, I wake up in the morning and every day, but sometimes my wife keeps reiterating it. So this is what we dreamed of, where our kids can go to school. And we're not worried about their safety. We know that rarely could anything happen or could anything go wrong. I was telling my friend of mine last time I traveled that my child can wake up in the morning, drive midnight, and decide that I feel like taking is true. The only reason I would say no is, what are you going to do outside? My friend, go to bed. But if he insists, that's okay. Go and come back quick. Because I know he's fine. Whenever he's strolling to it's okay. There's that sense of accomplishment that their safety is because safety for your family is paramount. It's sure, it's guaranteed. Then they've always wanted to play football. To be honest, 2023, they were still kicking the balls with their toes. You don't you don't play football with your toes. Because we're living, where we live in Lagos or any part of Nigeria normally. If you're not living in the ghetto, in the face me and face to your partner, homes, you live a private life. We don't necessarily allow our kids run out, on the street to play on the streets, because we are careful for their safety. Okada could be driving past, and say, Okada German, we don't want to touch. So we confined our kids more within our space, apartment. So they could play their football in their room or at school. Maybe sometimes in the compound where other kids were. And still in the compound, we are careful because the ball should not hit somebody's window. Break this thing. So, understand? So, for them to be here now, and there is an academy that they can join. And depending on your financial status, there's some benefits that you can get. They can give you some discounts. They know, okay, this is why do you work this kind of job? I have a part-time. I'm not working yet. Okay. Let your child come for 2 weeks trials. Then they'll go for 2 weeks trials. They say that they have this passion, this interest. Okay, they can join and decide to go. We'll need you once in a while for helping out with some things. Maybe there is a game. Maybe you come around to help with coordinating some things. So you work with them. Yeah, even when you are working now, you have your job, you can pay, you still volunteer to do some work. Last year, I did some volunteering at some of their games. Even when the senior team, my boys are in Vipers, VPS. So when senior teams are playing, parents could come there to work at something, maybe serve tea or drinks, or be in charge of to coordinate the stands where people sit, how to, those things. And I see my kids play football, banging goals, being their teams, and they're happy about it. My older son got his jersey last year. Less than a year that he came. Now he has a jersey. He's telling me that he's the first person to have a jersey. Yeah, and my surname is at the back. He asked me, what name should I put? I said, put your surname. And they be that you have that surname, because the surname, we have a large family that has that surname. And he is the first Chilekezi 65, not because he's the first, but it means it is possible.
Yeah.
So put your surname there. If you put your name alone, it's Charlie, but put the surname Chilekezi. It gives another Chilekezi hope that desires such that this is possible. So there's a sense of achievement. They are happy. They are so happy. This way of life we had desired when we started considering moving. We have it. Yeah, and it's been good. It's been what's the word? We feel accomplished. We've not gotten to where we want to. Life is a process. We're going with it gradually and intentionally.
That's lovely. That's really good. And right now, you are in a master's program.
I'm done with it. I completed it last year.
Okay, you're done with the master's program. Yeah. And you also, off camera, you mentioned you speak Swedish also.
Yeah, jag kan prata svenska, men
lite.
Yeah, lite, yeah, okay. Svenska.
Du blir bättre.
Yeah, so, men, okay, now let me switch. So, before coming, when I gained the admission to over, the student advisor, they had this thing called summer language class.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 credits if you did it. So we have to choose between Swedish or Finnish. But my course is an educational course, and my course required me to take Swedish in my first semester. But one Swedish, 5 credits, compulsory. So the classes are with Swedish. And Finland is Swedish and Finnish, but more of Finnish, majorly Finnish. Swedish is compulsory. Let me just take it this summer and get acquainted with the language. And that was how. And I enjoyed it because my teacher made it interesting to me and found it interesting. And then based on my research, have a B2 level Swedish. You can pursue, gives you some leverage. Then I didn't know much, but I just realized that, okay, permanent residency with my master, that after masters of 2 years, I stayed 2 more years and applied for my PR. And to write EQ test, I need a good level of Swedish, B2, for citizenship. And I done my calculation. If I can get it free of charge in school, learn it, then go write EQ. That would make sense. That's my plan. So school is giving me first semester. I'll look for part 2. That's A2. Then my first semester, I'll look for B1. First semester, I look for B. That was my plan. Then I came to Finland, compulsory first semester A1. Second semester, there was talent boost funding for A2. Then I took Swedish and Finnish. Because there was funding for it, so I took both of them. The idea was Swedish was the main one to get to pursue, anything that needed to write Iki.
Yeah.
Finnish was to just get some of the words, try to understand some of the Finnish.
Yeah.
So I took both of them. Then talent boost ended. No more funding. This was 3rd semester in master's program. I had to do my search. right? Wrote emails. Obo Academy Turku. In Swedish, it's called Obo. They had physical class for Swedish part 3, but it was compulsory in person. So I couldn't attend it. So they said, no, you cannot apply for it. So University of Vasa had Simhin, but it's they'll break it down into, part 3A, 3B, 3C. And it was has 2 credits. You do 2 credits for some months. And that. So that one was long. I applied, though. I got in. But then, luckily for me, one of my lecturer had been disturbing, sending emails. Then my lecturer in Oba Academy promised me that she was going to do some findings. I kept on reminding her. She found out that Hanken had part 3 online free. And they had already commenced the classes. So I wrote them. Say, I am interested and I'm willing to catch up. It's okay if I can catch up, then now that I joined part 3. And this part 3 was, I think we're only 3 or 4 internationals. The rest were Finnish speaking Finns. So they finished speaking Finns themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's compulsory for them to have Swedish also. So I took that class. I passed. That's when I knew that it was not easy.
Yeah.
Because I had to do a presentation in Swedish. They're not like you speak in English. Nah, the lecturer will not help you do anything. Then part 4. When my lecturer saw me again applying for part 4, said, you're not supposed to be in this class. You don't need this for the Swedish speaking things. You need this for it's called what's the word? My before I speak Swedish, I think about it first. So it's Swedish for working, life. So Svenska för arbetsliv, yeah.
Yeah.
So I said that I want to be there. We're just 2 guys, foreigners, one Asian guy and me. And the rest were Finns. And their accent was actually helping them. Some of them already, and some of them were struggling, like us. Really struggling seriously. But with their accent, it sounded better. So when they speak sometimes, it's on speak. So in group rooms, it was tough because you talk and they talk, and you must speak in Swedish. And eventually I wrote the exam and I passed it too. And the thing I like about them is that there is no way, there's no shortcut. You must do it. You must write it. You must write the exam. You must do the speaking. And my speaking too was still project and discussion with the teacher and presentation. And then she ask you questions. And the one how to say, then I'll say it in Swedish. I said, if it were in English, I would say.
That's a nice way around it.
So it was my teacher that gave us that idea. So think of the easiest way of saying it. And saying that way. It's going to be broken Swedish, but think of how to put it. Just think of the simplest form of it.
Yeah, give me OT.
So I didn't even now, I don't even remember the word for lazy. It's because it's been a while. So I was saying, and I said, for engelska, what's the word again? Yeah, okay. På engelska, jag ska säga lazy. He said, oh. So I was not saying in English, I would say lazy. He said, oh, because I was looking for the word in Swedish. It went off. But I had these plans already that day to say it. He said, oh, and she liked that thing I did. So after the whole thing, she asked, we talked further. Then when we were done with the exam, and she told me that what you did was smart.
Yeah.
You let me know what you were trying to say. I say, and you spoke it in Swedish to tell me that if it was in English, you would have said lazy. So it said that was a smart thing to do. Letting the person know that I've forgotten this word. But in English is this. And that was the only word he said in English. And I switched back to so then I got my B2. That's the part 4.
Yeah.
My plan was now, okay, let me prepare for EK. I didn't know. So the thing is this. The lesson from this I've learned is set your mind on it. Get it. Achieve it. Because what I've learned from getting this B2 level or taking those classes was anything can happen. There's this prayer in my house. The policies of Finland to favor me and my family. The policies of Vasa, because I'm in Vasa. The policies of where I'm from, Nigeria, will favor, and then the policies of the EU. You are not there, but you just wish, you desire some good things. So the things I desire, let me say them first. Let me confess it every time I remember it. I was in Dublin in December, January, New Year. Yes. I came back on the 4th. And someone was telling me, have you heard about the new policy? I said, what policy? They've released it on the 8th of January. So what's that? The guy said, congratulations. I said, for what? Congratulations. I said, for what? He said, the new policy favors you. If you have 15 credits in any of the language from your university program, like this did your master's, you can apply for PR. I said, get away, you apply. He said, really? So he opened it. So what I do is, I can accept what you've said.
But you have to confirm.
If I've not gone to confirm it myself, I will not believe. So my wife was telling me, have you checked this? I said, no, I will check, but it sounds strange. I've not heard it. Eventually, I opened a laptop one day and I checked it. I read it. So the thing, on Migri side, there are several links I keep clicking. I read it for 2 hours to be sure of what I was saying. So then that moment I started to apply. And I applied. And I'm waiting. The only thing Migri did not do on that, they did not specify job requirements or income requirements.
Yeah.
According to a friend of mine, he said for now will not be lab rats.
Yeah.
All of you guys have applied now. You are the guinea pigs. So let us see what they will say. Because they did not specify. Some people have read it and analyzed that. Migri is not saying that you must have this amount, or you must have this level of job, or this number of hours, this income level.
Yeah.
They didn't say that for this specific category. So we've applied and we're waiting. So Migri, if you see this, we have applied though.
Yes,
so please just give us our permanent residence. Because I'm not going to. It's Finland. I did.
Yeah.
One day. So. How many hours have we gone now? This can be.
It's longer. Yeah, even this one alone is almost 2 hours.
Okay.
Well, at least wonderful conversation. So we're wrapping up very, very, very soon.
We have to wrap up now.
Yeah. So your story has been, it's basically the Nigerian dream, would I say?
Mm-hmm.
And you give not even just me hope. Someone in Agegunle now, or Oshodi, or Shomolu, or Parika. Someone will watch this someday.
Yeah.
The person might be going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But then the person will say, you did it. It's possible for me too. Hopefully your kids will see this one day and get more insight. Of course, they already know your story. But it might be a form of reminder when you're not there also. And even the words you've spoken to them will be a form of reminder and a source of inspiration.
Yeah.
And someone might just come to Finland for the first time and all hope seems lost.
Yeah.
The person might watch this video and use you as a point of reference of what is possible. Because, when we first come, like new, we look to get information of some sort from those that have been before us.
Yeah.
And right now, you are that source of contact of information for those that will come after you.
Mm-hmm.
So we thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an incredible story.
It's been a long one.
Yes,
In the
and an
middle.
incredible story.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much impact you've impacted, not just to me, but to many that are going to watch it.
I hope so.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope so.
Definitely. You've impacted people physically.
Mm.
You've
Okay.
gone on to impact people internetically.
virtually.
Yeah, virtually. And you have your own show. Tell us about your show.
Yeah, the Global Reach podcast.
Yeah.
It's brought to you always by the Global Reach Studios.
Mm.
Yeah, and we discuss with experienced voices. We discuss different topics. Any topic from politics to sports, politics, sports, education, experiences with life, in health and different areas.
Yeah.
And we discuss with professionals, experts, and experienced voices in these fields. So we bring we bring the lived experiences of people.
Mm.
And our own case is not majorly about immigration. We discuss immigration, for example, and we discuss work life and the rest of it.
Because a part of lived experience.
And we bring we have had a mother come share her experience having an autistic child, having a premature child who eventually became autistic, and her experience with it in Finland so far. We have persons come talk about mental health, AI, and politics in Finland, and why people should come to Finland. And even the Vasa head of the person holding the highest political position in Vasa was on my podcast today. They're telling us why they need more people to come to Vasa and stay. Yeah, because they need people.
And that last verb is important.
Yeah.
Stay.
They want them to stay. Don't just come here and then enjoy the education and just move. Come here, stay also and contribute. It's not going to be easy, but yeah. I watched one guy on Stephen's show. He said, someone told him that we must change the narrative. Yeah. If you have a positive mindset, you keep working on it and you get there. It's going to be a process. It's going to take some time, but stay positive, be optimistic and keep pushing for it. You get there.
Yeah.
I've not gotten to where I want to get to yet, but I'm on the process and I'm seeing the progress. So I keep going. That was what Yasmin, the chair of the Vasa board, said. She said for what her dad, her grandfather said he wants her to be the president of Finland one day.
Yeah.
And when she became the head of Vasa, she went to the granddad's grave and to tell him that, Papa, I made it to this place now. And she said she cried. Spent about almost an hour there or so, and was crying and telling her because she was crying that he wasn't alive to witness it. And she said something. She said, what's the right? Is the word she used. Like she's living that life now.
Yeah.
She's fulfilling that dream.
Yeah.
And she gave us a date. 2042 that she wants to be the president of Finland. So
you heard it on his show first. The Global Reach podcast.
Yeah. So in case you hear that in 2042, Yasmin Granholm is the Finnish president. Yeah, she said it. And she's working towards it. She's living it. Yeah, and by then I would tell them I know the Finnish president personally.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
of course. Wow, that's so powerful. You know, when I came, I told you that what you did was inspirational, especially because your show is specifically informed. of course, the guests you have, they are telling a perspective, but still, you cannot ignore the impact. When I watched that episode, I was like, it's not the same Vasa that I was living in.
Yeah.
You know, after I watched the show, I saw a clip the first time he posted it. But then I watched it again 2 days ago. And I was like, this is actually promising. Because now, I don't think I've ever seen an official in Vasa say these things, especially for our community.
Yeah.
So it was impactful.
Yeah.
And as you said, changing the narrative, we have a voice.
Yeah.
Our concerns should be heard. And that's one thing that's specifically also good about a place like Finland, or a system that is similar to Finland, where you can have easy access to those that have.
Yeah, very, very important. For example, if you're in Finland and you are international and you're thinking about starting up your own business, I know the Asians. When I say the Asians now, all of them, maybe from Nepal or Bangladesh, or they've been here for a long time, and they've been investing, doing businesses.
Yeah.
Africans are just starting it, so wherever you are from and you want to know more about starting up a business, Ricardo from Statia, which is one of the bodies in Finland, not just Vasa.
Yeah.
The Vasa specific one is Vasek.
Vasek, yeah.
So Statia, Ricardo, we had Hendrik, the video is not yet out. Ricardo from Statia is coming too. I think this Saturday. He's going to be on my show soon.
Yeah.
And the PAM is a workers' union body in Finland. And someone advised, what's her name again? Johanna Karpinen. She's a strong voice.
Yeah.
I think she's the legal counsel now to Snellman in here. He said something. He said, if you are in Finland, I watched that on a podcast done in Tampere too. He said, if you're working in Finland, join a union. Yeah, she's a strong voice. And being a legal practitioner too.
Yeah.
So the PAM's national communication manager, I guess that's because he's a national person. He's going to be on our show soon in June. He's going to be talking about this, so watch out for that. If you want to know anything about your rights as a worker.
Yeah.
So, and even your Anna Karpinen is coming also.
I see.
Yeah, so we have a lineup. And there's one person that has said yes from, the person that will say is a VC in Nigeria of a university. One of them, I will not say it yet.
Yeah.
It's coming soon too. So it's going to be a full packed, period.
That's
And,
really amazing.
and if I'm inviting you now, please come to and be my guest. Because soon we'll be having a 2-year jam-packed, fully booked. Yes, that is what we are projecting towards.
And that's the dream.
And that's the dream,
That's
fully
the dream.
booked.
Yes.
So that by then, we might not have time for, so that's the dream.
I get.
We get there.
And it is impactful, not even just for you guys receiving it firsthand, but for even the rest of us watching.
Yeah.
Information is power. And these guys are coming to share targeted information, which is even more powerful.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing well. You are doing incredibly
We
well.
thank God.
Of course, other people that have found the passion to start their individual way of storytelling
Like
also.
Stephen
Stephen
Ikebude.
also.
Yeah. We talked about this thing before he started. I said, bro, start. I said, start this thing. And when he started, I was happy. I was surprised that he started then.
And it's incredible how similar people have like similar ideas all at once. It's like I got to a bottleneck where we all just thought that, okay, we should start this thing.
Do you know we're talking about this? He and I talked about this around August or July last year. I remember it was not snowing. We talked about it. Simple starts. And eventually he started.
Yeah. I remember when I saw his very first video, he uploaded it like 1 or 2 hours and I saw it. I messaged him that this thing you are doing is very is very powerful. That I'd like to be on your show. I was like, look, don't worry about your own schedule. I'm going to match your schedule.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you sure? I said, yes. So he said, how about this day? I said, okay, I'll see how I can change my schedule.
Yeah.
I changed my work schedule. I went to the show and I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah. He's going to be on my show soon. I was going to be early on his show, but my own show got me busy.
Yeah.
So until finally, one day he called me and said, one day, give me date. I said, okay, let's do so. I said, Sunday. So me too, I've called and I said, nah, give me dates. It's going to be on yours before mine, though.
Anyhow it is.
So he told me that it's going to be on yours first.
So because he's preoccupied with a couple of things. So he told me to give him time and it's no problem. We are all here for.
And I've told him, if he's wasting my time, I'll just bring the camera to his house. I say, sit down. I'm not going nowhere. And he knows I can do it. And when if he sees that way, he has no other choice. But that's how we are. We grow our community together.
Yeah.
So it's nice having this conversation with you.
Very, very, very.
This is the longest I've been on. Yes. See, this one was quite long, but this one is the longest.
Yeah, but people say, oh, your episodes are quite long. I'm like, how can you summarize decades into 1 hour? 3 hours going it's like, it's not even as long as.
Yeah.
Watch 1 hour, go and sleep. Come back, watch 1 hour again, go and sleep.
And that's why
watch 1 hour again.
That's why there are shorts. Shorts give you clips of.
Yeah, exactly.
And then my mom to, okay, let me listen to full stuff. I listen to some full episodes.
I watch, thankfully where I work, well, not right now, but I used to listen to podcasts all day, even while working.
While working. I do that too.
Yeah.
I do that.
So I just love listening to podcasts and audiobooks. Some 6 hours long, some 8 hours long. I listen to everything.
I can't stay that long because I get a headache from that. So I give breaks.
Yeah, you can take break, chill, eat some chin-chin, then you come back again. So that's no one. We appreciate you, and we at TAFTOBY, we wish you adieu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And stay tuned. You can also please like, share, subscribe, and also head over to the Global Reach Show or network or podcast.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, tell your friends. TAFTOBY is bringing you real content. Yeah.
And Global Reach podcast giving you targeted content to target your life. Target your destiny.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate it.